So just to get started, we'll just lay out the agenda. So first, we'll just give you a little introduction about Northeastern. I'll turn it over to my colleague, Kaylee, who will give you the department overview and the program overviews. Kaylee is actually an alumna of our IS Bridge program, so she's very knowledgeable about the MGEN department. We'll talk a little bit about admissions. You'll hear from our 3 student ambassadors who will introduce themselves, their programs and their campuses. We'll follow up with a little bit of final items, and then we'll transition into the Q&A. So just to start off, Northeastern is a global university system. You can see our campuses there. While you're on the global system, you do have the same opportunities for education, research, and experiential education. I think I skipped a slide. I apologize for that. My bad. Yeah, I'll just give you the brief introduction to Northeastern first. So Northeastern is a top-ranked R1 research and experiential learning opportunity. You'll hear more about research and experiential learning throughout the presentation, but all this means is that we're in the top tier of both, according to US News and World Report rankings. We are ranked #1 in co-op and internships, which I'll talk about later in the presentation. In addition to the College of Engineering, Northeastern also has 9 other colleges and schools across the network. Overall, we have about 50,000 students. About 10,000 of those students are actually engineering students. We do offer degrees from the bachelor's to the doctorate, although we will just be talking about MS degrees today. The university has offered $269 million in external research awards, and we are primarily located in Boston, but you'll see on the next screen that we have multiple campuses. And the benefit of being an MGEN student is that you have the most flexibility, particularly if you're an information systems student, to be able to pick from multiple campuses. So when you do apply, you can apply to up to 6 different choices. So I would encourage you to really look into the different campuses and see what they have to offer while you're in the application process. They all have the same education, research, and experiential learning opportunities, but each campus is unique in terms of its culture, its offerings, and then different opportunities you have to interact with specific faculty on each campus. So the College of Engineering is the biggest school at the university. We have 10,000 students, so this is roughly about 1/5 of the entire student body. Most of our students are graduate students, and most of that graduate population is is MS. And a large portion of the MS population is from the multidisciplinary master's programs. So you can see here, we do offer 110 academic degree certificates and minors in the college itself. We have over 400 full-time faculty. Many of those are tenure or tenure track, but many of them are also practice faculty. And we are also offered one of the highest amounts of research award dollars in the entire university. And you can see our US News and World Report rankings have just been updated, and they're on the bottom of the screen for you. In addition to the multidisciplinary graduate education department, we also have 5 other departments, and this is just to give you an idea of where your other student colleagues might be studying. But the benefit of being in the MGEN department is that you are getting courses that are pulling from many different disciplines, while your colleagues in their single discipline are really only studying one discipline. And this is just to show you where in the network our programs are being offered. You can see if you're an information systems student, you have the most flexibility to pick the different campuses. So like I said, please do look into the different campuses. They all offer something different that could be unique to your specific needs. But you'll see too, our software engineering systems degree is offered in many different places, as well as is our data architecture and management degrees. So I'll just quickly talk about research. The college is offered up to 104 million external awards each year in research dollars. On the next screen, I'll show you the 20 multidisciplinary research centers, and these are funded by 8 federal institutes. And within these centers, they focus on health, sustainability, and security thrusts. I won't go into these, but if you are interested in looking into any of these, I do recommend taking a screenshot of this slide. Each of these are going to have a specific website. It'll tell you the projects that are going on within each department. It'll tell you the faculty that are working in these, and in some cases, it'll even show some of the graduate students that are working in there as well. And then each one does have a request more information. So if you do want information about a specific project, somebody will respond to you with some of that information. And then, as I've mentioned, in the college itself, we have over 245 tenure or tenure track faculty. Our faculty are very accomplished. This is just a very small amount of the awards that our faculty get. So we do have a really robust faculty directory. So if you're interested in learning about any specific faculty, the awards that they're doing, the work that they're doing, that is all available online for you to check out. So quickly, I'll just go over co-op. This is our project or program that allows students to gain real-world experience while they're studying. This is open to both grad and undergrad. If you are a grad student, you're eligible to go on one co-op that can be 4, 6, or 8 months in length. Those are just some of the industry partners that are on the page here. The list is quite extensive. We have over 2,000 co-op partners, so it wasn't possible to list all of them here, but you are not required to go on co-op, but it is highly encouraged, particularly if you do not have previous industry experience. And you're also not required to go on co-op in the city in which you are studying. Our students have gone on co-op in 43 states and across 23 countries. And it is a great networking experience. I would say over half of our grads who do go on co-op are at least offered a position at their co-op after they complete their co-op. So what defines a co-op? These co-op positions do align with your major. So rather than being maybe an intern where you're kind of in an assistant role or kind of a supporting role, you're actually working in industry in a company and you're having a legitimate role within that company. You're also working full-time. So in the United States, full-time is about 35 to 40 hours. And you could be working a variety of hours depending on your company. Your co-op is either going to be 4, 6, or 8 months. And this usually comes out to be about an extra semester in the program for those of you who are trying to plan out how long that is going to be. And these are recorded on your transcripts and you are considered a full-time student while you're on co-op. You're just not taking any classes, but it is on your co-op, it is on your transcript. And if you are an international student, this does count as curricular practical training. So there are many benefits of co-op. These are just some that our students have said, but the main takeaways here is that you're learning firsthand experience in your chosen field. You're exploring what you like in the field as well as what you don't like. You're working with a number of different folks who can become your network. So these are people who can be your references when you are out job searching. There are also people you can collaborate while you're out in the field. So you are growing professionally and personally. You're earning a legitimate salary, you're utilizing your CPT. And then prior to going on co-op, you're also working with your co-op advisor who is helping you with your interviewing skills, your job search skills, and your resume building. So now I'm going to turn it over to Kaylee, and she is going to give you more information about our MGEN department and our programs.
Thank you very much, Marissa. Hello, everyone, and thank you for attending this webinar to learn more about our programs and really the amazing opportunities here at Northeastern. To briefly introduce myself, my name is Kaylee Shakowski, and I'm one of the Assistant Directors of Academic Operations for the Multidisciplinary Graduate Engineering Department, better known as MGEN, as you'll hear throughout our session today. I'm based out of our Boston campus, and I'm really excited to be here with you. So in the MGEN department, our programs are developed and led by our amazing team of directors. We have Dr. Cal Bugara as well as Dr. Marikla Parazzi. Their combined expertise really ensures that our curriculum remains cutting edge, industry aligned, and also deeply impactful for our learners. And as Marissa previewed, MGEN has a strong and growing presence across Northeastern University's network of campuses. So we're currently located at 9 campus locations across North America. Those include Boston, Seattle, San Jose, Arlington, Oakland, Miami, Portland, Maine, Toronto, and Vancouver, Canada. Our MSIS and MSIS Bridge programs are offered at all of these sites. Our software engineering program is available in Boston and Arlington, and our data architecture and management program is offered in Boston and Seattle. So this dynamic footprint really gives students the opportunity to learn in leading tech hubs across North America, with each campus, as Marissa spoke to, offering a unique and diverse environment filled with professional and academic opportunities. And it also connects students to a large and diverse student body and really a vibrant alumni network as well, which our learners consistently cite as one of the highlights of their MGEN experience. So, our mission within the MGEN department is that we want to produce more effective software engineers who are substantially more capable than ever of addressing the needs of digital society in terms of time, cost, and quality. And we accomplish this by focusing on software as a systems engineering challenge rather than a coding problem. And this is one thing that makes our programs very unique, that through our curriculum, we teach you how to not only be an industry leading software engineer, but also leaders who understand the business requirements for what you are developing, managing, and overall overseeing. And at our core, our goal is really to empower you with the technical expertise and strategic mindset needed to drive that meaningful impact in today's fast evolving digital landscape. So, there are many things that make our programs unique and provide our students with the skills to succeed in the workforce. So, first, we integrate business and technology in our course teachings. This is really critical because not only are your technical skills important, but your business and communication skills are equally important, if not more. And this is because as an engineer, you need to be able to communicate your ideas to both technical and non technical audiences, which our curriculum will prepare you for. Another highlight is that most of our instructors are active professionals from industry. So, this ensures that classroom instruction reflects current market conditions and emerging trends, offering students a practical, real time insights along with that academic rigor. And one additional highlight is that we put our students in the driver's seat. So when it comes to the courses you select as part of your program, you really have a lot of flexibility. There's a limited number of core requirements for most of our programs, allowing students to devote more time to electives that really align with your personal interests and professional aspirations. And we'll discuss this flexibility in greater detail in our program overview section, but it really remains a central feature of our student centered and also individualized approach to our programs. So, continuing on that idea, here we have an image to illustrate that our programs are really at the intersection of IT management, business complexity, and software engineering. By understanding each of these domains and how they interact, our graduates are uniquely positioned to lead in roles that require both technical knowledge and depth and strong strategic insight as well in terms of business. So, whether that's building scalable software, maybe managing a complex system, or just generally aligning technology with business goals, our students are equipped with the skills to operate confidently at this intersection. So, in summary, here's what you can expect from our programs. So, a wide network of faculty, again, with over 80% joining us directly from industry, bringing what industry employers are actually seeking directly to the classroom. A team of co op faculty to support your co op search and journey. A very wide selection of elective offerings. Options to study year round with entry on most campuses in both fall and spring. And the ability to design an academic journey that reflects your individual goals. So, here in our next section, I will speak to our course offerings and provide you with examples of a few areas of study our students have access to through our programs. So, here we've highlighted several popular areas of focus that many of our students choose to pursue during their studies. In keeping with the flexibility built into our programs, these are not formal concentrations, but rather common themes that students shape through their selection of electives. Some of those popular focus areas include AI systems engineering, user experience design, full stack software engineering, business intelligence and data analytics, machine learning and data driven engineering, and then also project and product management. So you can see quite a flexible array depending on your interests. And so, to further illustrate how our curriculum remains both current and really ahead of industry trends, we continue to adapt and expand our offerings in really close alignment with market demands. And this is made possible through an active involvement of those industry leaders in the classroom who help shape our programs through that real world insight. So, an example of this responsiveness is the significant expansion of our artificial intelligence course offerings. So, during the spring semester alone, we introduced more than 20 new sections focused specifically on AI topics. So, a sampling of these offerings is shown here. And you can see all of these offerings and more in our catalog as well. But just kind of giving you an insight in our department, we're always looking for ways to grow and expand and make sure that our students are industry ready. So now I'll provide a brief overview of each of our four programs featured during the webinar today. So first up, we have information systems. So, the Information Systems program is designed to help you improve processes and solve complex challenges related to business and society. The program really prepares students to go beyond programming as an information technology leader, delivering safe, secure systems that really help solve some of society's biggest challenges. In the program, you'll learn how to solve problems and design these groundbreaking software solutions that fit within the complexities of the business world and also solve the humanistic needs of the people who use them. So the Information Systems program is 32 credit hours in total. And going back to what I kind of said earlier about having limited core requirements, the only core requirement in Info is Info 5100, Application Engineering and Development, plus the lab. Then the remainder of your 32 credit hours come from elective offerings, 16 coming from the Info course code, and the rest can be from CSYE, DAMG, Info, or Tele course codes. So, really putting you in the driver's seat when it comes to building a curriculum that matches your interests and goals. So, for example, if you're interested in being a full stack developer, you can pick electives that align with that. Or say you want a mix of some data classes, some AI classes, some software courses, and even some telecommunication courses. In our program, you really have the flexibility to do just that through your elective options. So, next up, we have our Information Systems Bridge. The MSIS Bridge program is really designed for those with non STEM or non technical bachelor's degrees, or those who want to strengthen their technical backgrounds or reskill or upskill to enter the information systems field. Through our program, you'll become a highly skilled problem solver, taking a seat at the table as industries continue to launch into a digitized future. This program is 40 credit hours in total, which we'll dive into more on the next slide. So the Bridge program has three core requirements: Info 5001, Application Modeling and Design; Info 5002, Introduction to Python; and Info 5100, Application Engineering and Development, plus the lab. Info 5001 and 5002 will introduce you to coding languages such as Java and Python and really provide you with all the tools to succeed in your more advanced coursework in the program. So, we really take you step by step in these core offerings as you transition to tech through these courses. And as a bridge student, you will complete the rest of your 40 credit hours from elective offerings. 12 of your 28 elective credit hours, or three classes, will come from this restricted list you can see on the screen here. These were hand selected by Dr. Bagara and Dr. Parazzi as they're best suited to support students coming from a non STEM background. And there are 9 options in the restricted electives to choose from, making sure that you still have that flexibility to drive your curriculum choices to match your interests. And then the remaining 4 classes you may select from any offerings under the CSYE, DMG, Info, and Tele course codes. And next up, we have software engineering. So, our software engineering program prepares students for in demand careers as software developers who are really capable of engineering complex software systems for social impact. So, this program also shapes more technically advanced students to be intuitive problem solvers, as well as experienced engineering architects and result focused leaders who will have a great impact at the intersection of computer science, engineering, and ethics. And this program is 32 credit hours in total. So there are 2 core requirements for the software engineering program, which are CSY 6200, Concepts of Object-Oriented Design, and Info 6205, Program Structures and Algorithms. The remainder of your credit hours will be electives of your choosing, with at least 12 credits coming from the CSYE course code, and then the remaining 12 credit hours can come from CSYE, DMG, Info, or Tele course codes. And last but not least, we have our Data Architecture and Management program. So, the Data Architecture and Management program equips students with the knowledge and technical skills to engineer big data systems, curate and process data, and also ensure security to provide information and insights to decision makers across industries. This program provides you with sought after knowledge, all while exploring machine learning techniques that will really prepare you for the next generation of data integration tools. And this program is also 32 credit hours in total. So, as a data architecture student, you are required to complete 4 core courses covering topics from data science and data management to data architecture and business intelligence. Then the remaining credit hours in this program, which are 16 in total, will come from elective offerings, again, which you may choose any combination from CSYE, DAMG, Info, or Tele course codes. And I would also like to highlight that all of these requirements I've been sharing with you today, as well as additional information for all of our programs, can be viewed in the Northeastern's academic catalog. And with that, I will hand it back to Marissa to discuss next steps in the application process with you and introduce our student ambassadors here with us today. Marissa?
Great. Thank you so much, Kaylee. So some of you today who may be on the call, you may have already been admitted to your program of interest. And if that is you, I just want to take the time to say congratulations on your acceptance. No matter which campus you've been accepted to, we're excited to welcome you onto it in the fall. This will be emailed to you later in the summer, but I just wanted to put it up on the screen so you have an idea of what your roadmap looks like as you're getting ready to start the program. So first and foremost, the first thing that everyone has to do, regardless of their program, their status, where they are, what campus they're going to, is that you have to pay your enrollment fee. So this will look a little different depending on which campus you've been accepted to. If you are a US student, you just have to submit your enrollment deposit right on the Slate portal. And this will kick off everything that you need in order to be able to start as a student. Now, if you are admitted to a Canadian campus, Toronto or Vancouver, your enrollment deposit process looks a little bit different. So all you have to do to be able to kick off all of these other items is just to submit your enrollment confirmation form on the Slate portal. After both of these, if you're a US student, after you've paid your enrollment fee, and if you're a Canadian student, after you've submitted your deposit or your enrollment intention form, then you'll be going into what we call the foreign credential evaluation process if you are someone who has not studied in either the US or Canada. This will be required for you either to apply for your study permit or for you to apply for your I-20. For those of you who are going into the Canadian campus, you do have extra steps. You will have to be evaluated for a PAL before you can be given your study permit, before you can be given your POA, and that's how you apply for your study permit. If you are applying for an I-20, that is all done through Northeastern. So depending on what status you are, you will be receiving information from either OGS if you're in the United States or OGS Canada if you are in a Canadian campus, and those folks will be able to walk you through those processes. While you're doing that, I would also encourage you to look into housing options. I know specifically for the Boston campus, a lot of leases do come up in either August or September, so it's always okay to start looking for leases early. Same with the other campuses. We do have the student ambassadors on the call with us today, so if you do have specific questions about their tips and tricks on how they found housing, please do let them know. Obviously, they're not realtors, so they can't help you find your specific apartment or accommodation, but they can give you kind of an idea of what they did to kind of, if you'd like to replicate that. So later in the summer, you'll also want to plan for orientation. No matter where you are, you'll have student services orientation, which will be for the entire college, and you'll have your program orientation, which will be specifically for either your program or your department. If you are on a different campus, you may also have a specific orientation specific to your campus. And if you are an international student, you will also have to go to orientation with OGS, just so you can check in with them. You'll also be receiving information on course registration later in the summer. It's really important to note that while course registration might be open for the entire university, as a new student, you do not want to register for a course until you receive your course registration guidance. That will be presented to you both in email, and we also have the new student information page where your course registration will be posted. You may be able to register for classes when it opens, but again, I just want to encourage you not to do that until you have your course registration guidance. This is for a couple of reasons, but primarily is that your department is working to create sections that will be helpful to have new students entering into. So a lot of times the faculty don't know how many sections they need until students are all squared up and everybody has submitted their enrollment deposit. So if you're finding that classes are filling up and you find that you would be on a wait list for a class, I just want to encourage you not to worry, because it's likely a new section specifically for new incoming students will be created. Our faculty just don't know how many students and how many seats to plan for quite yet. Particularly with the MGEN courses, they can be quite large. The department is, I would say, probably one of the biggest departments in the entire university, if not the college. So it can take some time, particularly on the regional campuses, to figure out how many faculty members are needed and how many seats are needed in each class. So please, when course registration opens, don't panic. You will be receiving your course registration, and every single new incoming student will be registered for the classes that they need to be registered for. You'll also be wanting to submit your health report. So please look at our new student page to see what you need there. You won't be billed for your tuition until you register for classes. You'll be billed by the credit hour. That will all be available for you in your student hub. And then when you finally arrive, just make sure to check in with your department and OGS if you're an international student. And please do remember to submit your official transcripts and your official proof of degree just to complete your admissions file. Now, if you're a prospective student and you are interested in coming in the fall, there is good news for you. There is still plenty of time to apply. If you're an international student, your deadline is coming up on June 1. But if you are in the United States or Canada and you are applying to a US or Canadian campus, you have until July 1. And if you are a domestic student to either country and you're applying within that country, you have until August 1 to submit your application. If you are applying for the spring, that application is already open. You can apply up until August 15th if you're applying to Canada. If you are applying to the US, you have until October 1st if you're an international student, and you have until December 1 if you are a domestic student. So we do have our admissions requirements on the screen for you. We do not have an application fee for our MS students. So anyone who is applying for fall 25 or spring 26, you are not required to pay an application fee. You are required to have 2 letters of recommendation, only unofficial transcripts for the application. You don't need your officials until you are admitted. You are required to have a statement of purpose and a resume. And if you are an international student who needs to take an English language proficiency exam, you can take the IELTS, TOEFL, or the Duolingo. So I will be introducing to you our graduate ambassadors. Our ambassadors are current students who are here to assist you with the program questions, what to expect in your new city. Like I said, they can give you tips and tricks for housing. They also have a number of ways in which you can connect with them. I would definitely check out their website. They have their bios are all on there, so you can see their contact information. There's also connections to their blog, to their social media. They're very engaged in quite a lot of social media and have a lot of content. So I would definitely encourage you to check that out if you haven't. So they are all going to be able to introduce themselves to you. And if you have any questions for them, please do feel free to drop those into the Q&A. They're very happy to talk to you. But for now, I will hand it over to our student ambassadors and they can introduce themselves to you.
Okay, thank you very much. Hello everyone, I'm Tan Feiye, and actually I'm a new ambassador. So this is my first webinar as an ambassador. Nice to meet you guys. I am a master's student in information systems at the Oakland campus. I earned my bachelor's degree in telecommunications engineering from Jilin University, China. And I have a few years of experience working as a full stack software engineer at leading Chinese internet companies like Alibaba and Tencent. I'm really passionate about developing innovative apps that makes people's digital life easier and fun. Now, currently, I'm at the end of my second semester. The final exam will be held in the next week. And my experience at Northeastern is very great. When I was looking for grant programs, I want it to be software related. I want it to be in the Bay Area near Silicon Valley and at the heart of the tech. Because being right here makes me much easier to attend industry events. Even though I had a good chunk of experience as a software engineer, but my background wasn't actually in computer science academically. But a lot of the computer science programs wanted that specific academic background, except for those more than 2 years aligned programs. That wasn't quite what I was looking for at the time. Then I stumbled upon Northeastern's information system program. What really caught my eye was that the curriculum was super similar to the computer science degree, but beyond that, there are a lot of pathways we can choose, such as just we got introduced there. You can choose a course from software development engineering, and you can choose the course pathway for data architecture and even for artificial intelligence. So Lost System, and I know that Lost System has a good reputation in China. So it felt like the perfect way to level up my skills and try something new in a great location. After I enrolled the school, the first most impressive thing is the campus. It's of the right size, I think, not too big to walk, not too small to enjoy a campus environment. There are tons of tall trees, and walking around that feels like a peaceful stroll in the woods. It's really great for me. I have been working for so many years and back to campus. The campus feels very historic, but really well maintained, and the resource is abundant for everyone. You can get everything you need without feeling rushed or crowded. It's a really very comfortable and supportive environment. And the other thing is the class size is quite small, usually around 20 students. It means that we can actually have meaningful discussion with professor and TAs. They genuinely have time for our questions. And some professors can even remember most of the students' name. And what's really valuable is that many of the professors have real-world industry experience. They have been worked like from Google, Microsoft, or NVIDIA, these leading companies here in the USA. And so the lectures are really current and relevant to what's actually happening in the tech world. So I think that's a quick snapshot of my journey so far. And if you have any question for me, you can put it in the QA. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing your experiences. We really appreciate it. So yeah, so next, go for it, Prom.
Hello. Yes. Hello, everyone. So, I am Forum Trivedi, and I am currently pursuing my master's in software engineering systems, and I'm from Boston campus. And mostly everything is covered by him, but I'll add my journey. So, I did BTech in information technology back in India, and I wanted to learn more about software engineering other than the job part of it. So I selected courses which are related to Gen AI and data science, which is currently booming. So courses are very flexible, as everyone said, and professors are also from the industry, which makes it more worthy, and we can contact them anytime that we want, and TAs are also very helpful. And we do have two advisors. One is for academic advisor and one is co-op advisor. So that is really helpful. Co-op advisors uh, do have connections with uh, companies who are hiring for students from Northeastern, and we get to talk to managers or startup CEOs directly, which is great. They held panel sessions every month or maybe twice in a month sometimes. And it's a great way to connect with industry experts. Also, I love being on the Boston campus because it's great. It has a koi pond and it has curry center, which includes all the games. And it has many study spots as well. So you'll never run out of like study spots. Uh, Also, uh, just because I'm in Boston, I get to connect with students from MIT, Harvard, BU, etc. They hold hackathons and everything, in which I get to be part of, and it's a nice way to connect with other students and other industry experts as well. So that's been my experience so far, and I would recommend Northeastern to anyone.
Thank you so much for sharing. Sachi, go for it.
Hi everyone. So my name is Sachi Kotadia, and I'm currently pursuing my MS in Information Systems at the Seattle campus. Going over a little bit about my academic background, so I completed my BTech in Information Technology and my MBA in Tech Management and Finance from Mumbai. After that, I was working for a couple of years in the finance industry, which is where I realized, I want to go back to school, get better, learn more things. And while researching for courses, I came across Northeastern's Information Systems program. And again, I think the flexibility that it offers was one of the main reasons I wanted to enroll myself into it. The reason I chose Seattle was because I had visited Seattle earlier and I really liked the place. So our campus is situated right in between all of the Amazon, Apple, Microsoft offices. So when you go to campus, you just feel like you're going to work. So it has a great vibe for anyone that is really interested in tech. Another thing I would say about the Seattle campus is it's not too big of a campus. Like, I think there are just the right amount of people, and the network and connections you form are something that are going to remain with me forever. So it's like a really small community where everyone knows each other so that you feel comfortable throughout. I would say like the professors are really approachable. So again, we don't have like a really big class strength. We have like 40 students, I would say, per class. So at least you get to ask your questions, you clear all your doubts during the classes. And another thing about the campus is also the networking opportunities that are there. So again, because of our location, we have a lot of alums that are working in Seattle too. So every now and then we invite them for different opportunities to come speak, be panelists, have, networking sessions. So throughout, like I think every month there is at least one event that's happening on campus. So, just like these are good opportunities, I would say that, you can go and practice your networking skills, like just being able to communicate and, those are really helpful. And yeah, feel free to reach out if you have any other questions.
Great. Thank you so much, all three of you, for sharing your experiences and also for talking a little bit about your different campuses. So now we'll turn it back over to Kaylee, and she can talk a little bit about some final items.
Thank you so much, Marissa. And thank you to our amazing student ambassadors again. We appreciate each of you taking the time to share your journeys with us today. And to the incoming and prospective students joining us on this webinar today, I do really again encourage you to reach out to them, as they're an incredible resource and can tell you more about what it's like to study at Northeastern and especially in the MGEN programs. So before we wrap up today, I just want to share a few final items with you. So first is our MGEN FAQ page. This is really an essential resource that addresses the most frequently asked questions from our students, both current and prospective. So you can access this page using the QR code currently on the screen or by visiting the link directly, which I will also share in the chat now for your reference. We really encourage you to bookmark it, as it's designed to support you every step of the way, and again, can help answer many questions you may have during your time as an MGen student and studying at Northeastern. And here are MGen's social media pages. So you can find us on LinkedIn, Facebook, and Instagram. If you aren't already, we would really love for you to follow our pages. They're overall a great way to connect with the community, learn about events across all of our campus locations, and just generally stay up to date on all things MGen. So with that, I want to thank you all for joining us today to learn more about our programs here at MGen. And we hope to see each of you become a future Husky here at Northeastern University. So now I'll hand it back over to Marissa to conclude today's session.
Great. Thank you so much. And I just want to echo everything everybody has said. We're really happy to answer any of your questions. I'm actually going to put in the chat, I'll put in the COE email, as well as my own email. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out either to me or to our COE admissions page. We're happy to answer your questions. And I see some of you have put questions in our Q&A, so I'm happy to address those. Thank you for asking those. So we have a question. I have a question about registration. Student wants to register for the co-op course. I don't believe we have the co-op courses ready. Do we yet, Kaylee? We do have the course
No,
registration.
yeah, you're correct. So I'll jump in here. So the co-op courses, so our director is still working with their team on getting those ready and available for students. I am going to put in the chat here for everyone the link to the new student information page. When those courses become available, under the section you'll see titled Course Registration Guidance Fall 2025 for any of our incoming students. If you scroll all the way down, there's a section at the bottom titled Co-op ENCP classes. And you'll see right now there's a placeholder for MGEN. So once those become available, that's where you'll be able to find that information and register for those sections for co-op.
Awesome. Thanks, Kaylee. And I see we have a question about the minimum amount of courses you can take during a semester. So first of all, Michael, thank you for asking that question. Congratulations on your acceptance to data architecture and management. That's very exciting. So in the College of Engineering, full-time students take 2 classes, so that's 8 credits. And part-time students take 1 class. That's full-time, or that's 1 class. And I believe we do, at least in the College of Engineering, allow students, as long as they're not restricted by like a work visa or student visa or anything like that, you can go back and forth between full-time and part-time. We do have a student services department. They're your professional academic advisors. They can help you with like course planning and degree audit to make sure that you're on track for everything. But it is possible just to take 1 class, especially if it's a hard time at work. You can take 1 class per term if you need to. So for right now, I see a question, who should I contact for any doubts regarding course registration? So for right now, you can feel free to reach out to the admissions office. If your course registration is posted, which I don't believe most have yet.
So all of ours are posted.
Oh,
So
they
all of
are?
our so all of our guidance for the MGEN programs are posted on that new student information page. So there you can find all of the guidance on what you should be registering for, how to register, additional context if you have questions, not just about courses, but generally speaking about joining Northeastern as an incoming student. So really helpful resource. Recommend you review those. Similarly, when you go to that page, they're all under that course registration guidance, and you'll see them divided by campus, and then you can find your specific program on your specific campus that way. So all of the information is for you there. There are also additional contacts in there as well if you do have questions or any trouble registering for your classes.
Awesome. Thanks, Kaylee.
Thank you.
So I see a question, is there any minimum TOEFL score requirement for co-op? Yes, there is, but it's the same requirement, I believe, for admission. So as long as you passed the TOEFL requirement to get into the program, you should be good for your co-op. I don't believe that there are any TOEFL score requirements for specific TA or course assistant positions. But mostly the biggest hurdle you'll have to clear to be either a TA or a course assistant is you'll have to take the class that's offering the assistant position. So the faculty member who needs the assistance in the class will just need you to have previously taken the class for that. And if possible, explain experiential learning opportunities. So our experiential learning opportunities are our co-op program. So every program in the College of Engineering, as long as you meet the minimum requirements, you'd be eligible to go on co-op. And I see a question, are there any scholarship opportunities for the MS in data analytics engineering program? So I can't believe I didn't address this during the presentation, so I do apologize for that. But for fall 2025, we actually do have our Global Campus Network Scholarship. So for students who are enrolling in any campus outside of Boston, and also outside of Portland, since they have their own scholarship opportunity, any student enrolling aside from those 2 campuses, you'll be offered automatically a 25% discount on your tuition. So it's the Global Campus Network Scholarship. So if you are a Boston student or you are an incoming Boston student and you do want to take advantage of the 25% discount scholarship by transferring to another campus, you can feel free to reach out to the admissions team and we're happy to kind of walk you through your options and that sort of thing. But that would be the primary scholarship opportunity. I will say funding in the College of Engineering for MS programs is kind of rare. Most of our students do either self-fund their degrees or they do get loans to support their degrees, but that was an excellent question, so thank you. I don't see any other questions. So we can go ahead and conclude the session. So please, if you do have any questions, please feel free to reach out to either admissions, or you can reach out to me in particular. Good rule of thumb is if you don't know who to reach out to, you can feel free to reach out to admissions. We're happy to connect you with the department that you need if we don't know the answer. I also, again, want to thank our student ambassadors, especially Sachi and Tengfi, for waking up super early to join us today. It's almost 9 o'clock on the East Coast or the West Coast, so they woke up before the sun today. Also, Faram, thank you so much for joining from the Boston campus. I appreciate that. And I also just want to wish you all good luck on your finals, and thank you for taking a study break with us. So I appreciate that. And thanks again, Kaylee, for joining as always and giving a good representation of all of our programs.
Thank you so much, Marissa, and thank you for having us and hosting us during this webinar.
Have a good rest of the day, everybody, and let us know if you have any questions.
Thank you, everyone.